What it do? What it do? What it do? We made it. We made it. Episode 20 of the Tap In Commuters Open Mic with your host, comedian Mo Green, on an overcast evening, riding through Springfield, Massachusetts, on our way back to Hartford, Connecticut. But before I go to Hartford, I gotta stop and get some gas. I only got about 90 miles left. And I hear the back brakes scraping a little bit, so I know I'm gonna have to change those out soon. But this year I can actually afford to do it without feeling the financial strain as much, because I've been being a responsible young man, working a consistent 40-plus hour a week day job, which is a blessing. As much as I complain, or I'm annoyed by working, how much time it takes away, ultimately it is serving its purpose and maintaining and taking care of things until this comedy thing take off. So it's all good. It is A to the G. It's a cool week for me, because tomorrow I will be 47. I've had 46 Christmases on this earth, 46 summers, 46 winters, 46 springs, going into my 47th summer. I've had 46 Valentine's Days. I've had 46 Martin Luther King Days. I'm about to have my 47th St. Patrick's Day, which is my birthday tomorrow. About to have my 47th April Fool's Day. About to have my 47th 4th of July, my 47th Memorial Day, my 47th Labor Day, my 47th Arbor Day, my 47th Halloween, my 47th Thanksgiving, my 47th Christmas Eve, my 47th Christmas, my 47th New Year's Eve, and my 47th New Year. Now, no day is actually promised to us, so I can't even promise that I have tomorrow. So if some stroke of the highly unexpected happens, and this should happen to be my last broadcast on this planet, I can say, hey, I tried the best. I tried the best with the hand that was dealt to me, and I was on my way to some great things. But I don't have a scarcity mindset when it comes to this existence. So whatever these collection of cells and atoms that comprise me, whatever these collection of cells and atoms that comprise me were not able to complete, will definitely be redistributed throughout this universe into other things to complete other things. And I don't care if you're an atheist, I don't care if you're a theist, we all collectively agree that we just don't disappear completely. Like the atoms and the molecules that comprise us, they just redistribute it to something else. Whatever that thing is, whatever it may be, all I know is I'll still be existing in a different form, and I may not be trying to complete or achieve the same goals that I tried to achieve in this life, but it will be trying to achieve something, and I'm comforted in that. Got to get away from this ego of only holding on to this specific existence, thinking this is the only thing that exists, when it is a proven fact that every single last one of us human beings existed as something else before we came into this form, even if we want to break it down to something as simple as our mother's egg and our father's sperm. We existed as something before that. Those two things came together and made us in this particular form. But before that, we were split into 2, and before that, we were split into 4, and before that, we were split into 8 and 16, and so on and so forth, and it keeps going into infinity. So I'm comforted in that. I don't have a scarcity mindset where, damn, this is the only life we have, so we got to just try to do what we can as fast as possible because it's all we have. Like, people be coming with people make definitive conclusions with no proof. They go based on their limited knowledge. How can you draw a definitive conclusion based on something that you don't know? Why not just say, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Why not just say that instead of, nope, that's it, it's all over. But people going to think how they're going to think. Whatever. It is what it is. I'm not here to debate or give anybody pushback with their mindsets as far as their opinions on existence and what happens when this particular form transforms into something else, because it does transform. When your body breaks down to dust, that is a form of transformation. The plants that consume our cells and our carcasses and converts whatever that it consumes from us into energy, and then we become part of the plants and seeds and germ. Man, listen, man, it's one continuous cycle. And I theorize that a lot of times when we have deja vu, and I can't prove this, but I just theorize that atoms, because they give off some type of magnetism, that means they give off some type of waves. Somehow that manifests in a form of deja vu and memories. I have no way of proving this, but something is telling me this, so this is what I choose to believe. This is what gives me comfort in existence. Whenever I have a deja vu experience, like, damn, I feel like I did this before. I feel like this has happened before. This situation feels oddly familiar, man. That's just my Adam speaking to me, you know. But this is not the philosophical podcast, although at times it can be. This is the open mic, mobile open mic commuters tap in. That's why I tap in, shoot the breeze a little bit, you know, work on some jokes or some ideas I have. And if anybody want to pop in, give comments, throw a joke or whatever. You know, I tried to call a thing one time, only got one person to tap in once in the form of a call last week, the homie Gary Alexis, while he was sick. And it's an odd time to do it right now, you know, between 4:30 and 5. You know, a lot of people do work and have things to do at this time, so I get it if people don't always tap in, you know. But people don't necessarily have to call. They can, you know, just drop a comment, drop a joke, you know what I mean? Keep it going. Don't make me seem like I'm crazy just talking to myself. But as I always say, I ultimately do this for me. This is to keep my sword, my mouthpiece going on point. For the stage time that I lack, I'm still putting myself in what I perceive to be as some type of audience where I have to conduct myself and speak in a certain manner to be heard, not just by the audience, but for when I upload this to YouTube, it correctly gets my captions. So even if I'm not necessarily working on stage presence per se, I am developing the art of speaking and enunciating myself more clearly, so that when I do record my videos, the captions can pick up what I'm saying better, and I don't spend as much time editing when it comes to putting out my content. Listen, there's a method to the madness. This is something that I'm always doing, working on when I'm on this camera. This is not for bits and giggles. No. This is fun, but ultimately it is work. It is development. That's why I'm here. But dang, yo, 47. Who'd have thought I'd be this close, man? You know? They say time flies. It's not true. Time always goes the same speed that it always goes. Just our perception of time changes. See, when you're young, 5 or 6 years old, you only have 5 or 6 years of experience. So like a month, summer vacation, it would seem so long because you don't have that many experiences to compare it to. And you probably have such a scattered routine that things just seem longer, But as you get older, the routine just becomes more repetitive, and you get so caught up in the things that you do on a daily basis that you don't necessarily pay attention to the passage of time as much. Like, if you stare at a clock and count 1 minute, it seems like forever because you are focused on that time. I think when you're younger, you're more focused on time. When you're older and you get caught up in the daily things of life, paying bills, going to school, raising children, doctor's appointments, errands, etc., you're not paying attention to the passage of time. And when you don't pay attention to the passage of time, the perception is that time goes faster. So I think that the key to making things make time seem like it's lasting longer is embrace your good moments, man. Like a lot of times we'll be going on vacations, or it'll be Friday. We got the Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday off. But then all you worrying about, you're just thinking about Monday. You're thinking about going back to work so much that you're not enjoying the moment that you have when you're actually out. Like, I definitely have a lot less free time now that I got the full-time job, but the time off I have, I appreciate it that much more. And sometimes it be me and my girl, we be doing mad stuff on the weekends, man. Like, just knocking out a lot of things. Like this past weekend, was it? Did we go Friday? Or was it Saturday? Was it Saturday we went? Oh no, yeah, Saturday. No, Friday we pretty much kept it in. But Saturday during the day, she got a lot of stuff for the house. So it was mad boxes we had to break down. So we went to the dump, took care of that, and we was pretty much lounging during the day. She went, got her hair done and all that good stuff. I pretty much stayed in the crib. I gotta recharge the batteries, man. Then at night we went to the casino. We went to see Joey Diaz and Lee Syatt and Richard Voss. They were at the Mohegan, not the Mohegan, but they were at Foxwoods Premier Theater. Almost damn near sold out. That was dope as hell. Then after that, we went to a restaurant called the Sugar Factory. Food was delicious there, And then Sunday we went to, I forget the name of the restaurant, but some restaurant in Plantsville, Connecticut with our friends. We was running. It felt like we just did a whole bunch of things over the weekend within 2 days, and we really enjoyed, embraced the moment. We weren't only just thinking about, we got to go back to work Monday. Man. I have a tendency to look at Mondays differently. A lot of people they look at Monday with a sense of dread, like it's Monday, I got to go back to work. I see Monday as a new beginning to make your current week better than your last week. Every Monday that you wake up is an opportunity to make the week in front of you better than the week before you. Like there's some people that they don't wake up for that Monday. There's some people that die on that Monday. It was a local rapper, very, very popular. I've just been, taking in his music from Hartford, Connecticut, and then his name was Yolando Engie, and he got killed like December 4th. 2023, which was on a Monday. He was taking his kids to school. He got killed at a stoplight or something like that. You know what I mean? His world ended. His existence in that form, unfortunately, ended on that Monday. So if you can survive to the Monday and actually wake up on that Monday and get through the Monday, don't look at it with dread. Look at it as a blessing, man. You could not make it to that Monday. You did? But we're going to get to these jokes, though. I ain't got too many jokes. I'm going to just run a couple that I was thinking of. And then I'll run some worked out. I'll do the 60-40 rule. I'll run a couple that just ideas. I'm going to just spit them out. And then I'll run some worked out stuff just to make sure my core stuff is strong. And then we just want to call it a day, even if it's 20 minutes. Hey, the main thing I'm trying to do is I'm being consistent. Monday through Friday between 4:35. I'm gonna just say that between 4:35 because I was a little late today. I apologize, but I'm gonna stay consistent with this Monday through Friday. It's the 20th one. Man, let's just keep it going. I ain't doing nothing but driving during this time anyway, so why not do this? But anyway, all right. This is just me. Whenever I see somebody with a hyphenated last name, I assume that they have 2 gay dads, or 2 gay moms, or they're just in a gay relationship. Either way, they're gay. Stupid, crass joke, crass idea. I know that. I'm just throwing it out there, man. Here's another one. This chick the other day, she was telling me her gynecologist gave her the great idea of visiting the Grand Canyon. I'm like, was that before or after the pap smear? She said after. I don't know, that's just silly. That's just silly. I'm going, these are just ideas I'm throwing out. I will definitely somehow, some way work those into jokes. Now for my real stuff. As far as I know, I don't have any children. As far as I know. And some people say I'm lucky, some people say I'm weird. Some people say, how is that possible? Anything is possible. I didn't meet my dad until I was 31 years old. And he gave me $200 and a handshake. Cheapest child support ever. So by the time I'm 51, I might have a 31-year-old at my doorstep, and I'm going to follow in my father's footsteps, give him $200 and a handshake, and never talk to him again. Yeah, but as far as I know, I don't have no children, and my mother's always getting on me, always pressuring me, talking about, Mo, when you gonna make me some kids? Mo, when you gonna make me some grandkids? I said, when you let me have company past 10 p.m., I can't afford rent and hotels. My mother is a hater. This is preposterous, man. And there's the thing, like, my mother recently got saved. My mother recently found Christ. So she's no longer fornicating. She's no longer having sex in the house. And if she's not allowed to have sex in the house, nobody's allowed to have sex in the house. And it's some bull, because my mother don't even go to church. My mother be sipping wine while watching YouTube sermons. You understand what I'm saying? My mother be sipping wine while watching T.D. Jakes, Tony Evans, and Joe Osteen. And I'm like, Dad, Mom, why is you sipping wine? Why are you watching church? She's like, what you talking about? This is the blood of Christ. This is directly in the Bible. This is in the scriptures. This is in Ecclesiastes. This is the Passover. I said, Mom, I understand that, but you're drinking Pinot Grigio. And bad enough, it's not even the bottled Pinot Grigio. It's the wrong color. And bad enough, it's not even the bottle. It's funny because I missed a word in that particular part of the joke. And immediately my brain was like, the beat is off. The meter is off. Let me run that one part again. I said, but you drink a Pinot Grigio now. It's the wrong color, and bad enough, it's not even the bottled Pinot Grigio. It's the box Pinot Grigio. That Franzia with the plastic bag on the inside, the spigot on the outside. She gonna run out of wine, filling up her glass about, only God is my only judge. God is my only judge. That's the wine spigot sound. That's also the sound that you fellas and sometimes ladies need to be doing when you pleasing your lover. My mother's ministry is preventing me from getting hoes. My mother's ministry is cock blocking. She could be at the pearly gates right now, and the Lord will be like, Mrs. Scott, what did you do to deserve to get into the kingdom of heaven? I blocked my son from having over 1,000 thoughts. Now let me through the pearly gates, boo-boo, and I better get the big cloud on the west wing, extra puffy, extra fluffy, with the Netflix included. Dang, man, even in the heavens they got streaming services. It's in the cloud. I already said clouds, so I gotta use another word. I don't want to sound redundant in that part. Nah, that's not the reason why I have no kids. The real reason why I have no children is every time I get lucky and I have sex with a woman, you know what I'm saying, I cook her like a nice little breakfast, you know what I mean? And while she's still asleep and not paying attention, I put a Plan B pill in her coffee with Bill Cosby like accuracy. Dobbs. Steph Curry like form. Look at the flick of the wrist. Look at the flick of the wrist. And then my homeboy was like, yo, you stupid. Why don't you just use a condom? I said, cause she gonna notice the rubber floating in the cup, you dumb mother. We know for a fact coffee does not dissolve condoms. I tried it with my ex. Almost choked that one to death, man. She was choking on a Trojan in her Folgers. Choking on a Trojan in her Folgers. Choking on a Trojan in her Folgers. Choking on a Trojan on a Trojan. Choking on a Trojan in her Folgers. Later on, y'all gonna be singing that song. Choking on a Trojan in her Folgers. Choking on a Trojan in her Folgers. Choking on a Trojan on a Trojan. Choking on a Trojan in her Folgers. I do need to have some children though. All jokes aside. That's the only way we are able to extend our genes and legacy, giving ourselves immortality. And if I have some kids, you know what I mean? Like my girl, she can't have no kids. So first of all, no, she can have kids, but she don't want no kids. So I'm gonna have to have a side baby. You know, it's unfortunate. And if I do have my side baby, I gotta go to Africa to have myself a side baby with a beautiful African sister. You wanna know the main reason? Because the infomercials in the 80s and the 90s, and Sally Struthers told me it only costs 25 cents a day to raise a healthy African black baby, man. That's only $7.50 per month. I can afford that. I paid more for Disney Plus, and I don't even watch it. Just like how I'm not gonna watch that baby. Because my dad never watched me. I'm following in my father's footsteps, which happen to be not so big because he's only 5'6". He has very little shoes. That's all I'm giving y'all. That's all I'm giving y'all. I just wanted to work those jokes, make sure they were tight. And it's one thing I was consciously focusing on. Even though it's cleaner, it's not completely clean. Some of those jokes I normally curse, so I was just thinking of different ways to still get the material off without being just a potty mouth and profane. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm a better writer than that. I don't have to do that to still be effective and be funny. I'm not saying I'm never going to curse ever again in my sets, but just the way I work, my brain automatically is just writing it in a certain way, just using my words, using my synonyms, using my euphemisms, doing like fill in the blank style where I don't got to curse you out. I could set it up so that you curse in your brain before I even say anything. That's the level that I'm trying to get. All right, man. Holla at y'all comedians, younger comedians, man. Stay out of the drama. Keep your head down. Just focus on the craft. Get those stages. You know what I'm saying? If open mics give you hard times, man, let's get guest spots, whatever. You go to a poetry spot, go to a musical open mic, man. There's always ways to work out the material. Sometimes it's go live and just, even if it's you recording yourself, man. Practice, write, recite. No such thing as writer's block. If you have writer's block, if the universe is not giving you anything to write, then the universe is instructing you that you have to practice that which you wrote already. That's all I had to say. Holla at y'all. Peace.